Welcome to the Principal Thing Talk Show, where wisdom meets purpose. Join host Gerard Lindsay each week as he connects the dots from the book of Proverbs that helps you to navigate life successfully and propel you into divine purpose. Listen in now.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Thank you for being with us another Wednesday afternoon on The Principal Thing. The Principal Thing is where wisdom meets purpose. And our desire today is to share things with you that we believe that will be a blessing to you and that will help you to navigate business as well as ministry. So our desire today, as I forestated, is to just take it to another level, So I thank you so much for being with us today. I have a very exciting guest with us today. Expert on media, and I had some questions. So today, it'll be a little different today. What I want to do today is I just really want to be transparent. I really want to open it up and let you know where we are and how our expert will be able to help me. And hopefully some of you that may have questions, you guys will be able to be helped as well. And if not, we'll provide you with an email so that you can reach out to him and hopefully receive what you need to receive where you are in business. So today, thank you so much for our expert being with us today in the form of media. His name is Miles Spann, and we thank him so much for being with us today. Miles, how are you today, sir?
I'm very well. How are you, Gerard? How are you?
I'm doing very well today. Thank you for being on The Principal Thing with us today. Just please, very quickly, why don't you introduce yourself today? Tell us what you're the expert on, as far as digital media is concerned. Why don't you just take a moment and share with us today so that our audience, those of us that are tuned in and those that may be tuning in later after this broadcast is over, and they'll share it and have an opportunity to really find out a little bit more about you and how you're going to help us today and present yourself in a way so that you'll be a help to others.
Yes. My name is Miles Spann, and I run a company called Sparkplug Solutions. And it is a organization designed to help people get to where they want to go.
That sounds great.
Right? Sparkplug, I'm the one that gives you the spark that keeps you going. And a lot of times we talk about something called actualization. And that is loosely the concept that tells people, I have a dream. I have something that I want to do. I have something that I feel that will fulfill me as a person. Mm-hmm. And I am an actualization strategist. So I take you from your goal. I take you and you tell me, you give me information about where you want to end up at. What is your dream? What's your outcome? Mm-hmm. And I help you devise a strategy to get from where you are now to where you want to be. And what I do mostly now is I do a lot of media consulting and startup consulting, where you come in to me and you say, hey, I want to launch a YouTube channel. I don't understand how to use social media, or I want to build a website, or anything that you want produced or created. You come to me, we sit down, we talk about it, we look at your ideals, your goals, your values, and I take those things and I streamline it, and I make sure that I get you the best pathway to get the outcome that you're looking for.
Wow, I'm excited. Just the name Sparkplug alone, I'm thinking about fire, ignition, launch, taking off. So just that name alone excites me, and we are so appreciative that you've taken your time today to be with us this afternoon. So one of the reasons why I wanted to hopefully, one of the reasons that you're with us today is to really help me. Mm-hmm. And I hope that by helping me, you'll also serve a dual purpose. You'll be able to help others. I've been in the ministry for more than 20 years, just shy of 25 years. And this broadcast is really about sharing the wisdom of God. But now here's the thing, even though it's about sharing the wisdom of God, I want to really cross over into the marketplace. I want to talk to the average person that may not know anything about God. And I really want to share with them wisdom. I want to share wisdom principles. Now, I don't necessarily have to say God. I just want to be able to share wisdom principles with them. And by doing so, I hope that it adds value to their life. But now one of the things that I found myself experiencing, and this is really the reason why I have you up here. So I'm really trying to be transparent with our audience today, so that they will really be able to see some real down to earth interaction between you and I, me, the person that has the content, if you will, and then you, the person that will help me to connect with what I have as it relates to business and the things that you forestated to get me where I want to be. So now, one of the things that I was looking at with the principal thing, I don't just want to reach church people. I don't just want to operate within the confines of church in a digital platform. I want to be able to reach those that may not know anything about Christ, that may be in business, that just may be dealing with everyday life, and they want to understand how to navigate that. So I don't have to use the same church language. I don't have to do that. But one of the things, Mr. Span, that I was experiencing is I found myself kind of, because I've been in this for more than 20 some years, I sort of found myself going in that direction of, well, let me just give a message. Let me just, convey this spiritual concept. And by doing so, I became more cognizant, more aware of the fact that I could lose some of the audience that I'm trying to reach. So if nothing else, maybe vision synergy today. So I really wanted to help you. I wanted you to help me today. I wanted you to come up. I wanted you to give me your expertise. You already understand the vision that I have. It's a principal thing. It's where the wisdom means purpose, so that people can begin to understand not just what to do, but why they're doing it and how to get there. So I want to make sure that I stay pure with what the principal thing is all about. I don't want it to sound churchy. Now, I mean, some people, they may be blessed by this. So I'm going to have to change my language, and I'm going to have to get out of the mindset of I'm preaching a message, trying to teach a message. But really what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to add wisdom to everything that people are dealing with where they are. I want to meet them where they are with all of the gifts that I have, without trying to be churchy. So please, I'm going to turn this over to you.
Well, the first thing that I would say is wisdom is never limited to one realm or another. So when you're talking about spiritual concepts, and I think the language might be the most limiting thing that you face. However, the wisdom itself can be applied anywhere, but it's always about perspective. And the idea is you want to approach people from where they are, because when you are in the church your entire life and you're used to preaching and you're used to doing certain things, you have to break that by just saying, you know what, I'm making it way too complicated. Let me make it as simple. How can I explain what my message is, what my idea is, what I'm trying to translate, as simple as what it would be if I was talking to a child? A child does not have the same issue, does not have the same knowledge set that we have. So they're not used to all these things. When you start saying, oh, well, the apostle said this, and they're going to say, I don't know what an apostle is.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you get rid of it. You get rid of it. You bring it down to the base level and say, somebody has a problem. Your job is to be a problem solver. And if you solve the problems, if you are a problem solver, it can go into any area that you deal with. If you look at what I do, I may not know every field and every industry of the people that I work with. However, it does not change the fact that I know how to look for more resources, how to find more wisdom, how to connect the tools needed to have the certain outcome. And that's the same with you. You are a person who has a skill set that has been honed in one arena, and now it's just time to convert it to something else. Move it from one place to another.
Well, that's great, because one of the things that I was looking at, or at least that I was kind of tossing around in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, now I'm in front of this camera, kind of used to doing that every week anyway, and I'm sharing information. But now, as you forestated, I've got a transition into my mind that now I'm more into the marketplace arena. And by doing so, my language now has to change. And as a result of my language changing, as that stuff is starting to, bounce around inside my mind, I'm also thinking, wait a minute, maybe I need to add to my platform. Maybe I need to add more just voice only to this platform, where this platform here today, when I first started, I'm thinking, okay, God, I believe I understand what you want to do here. I'm not just talking to the church. I'm talking to people in society. I'm talking to the marketplace. So I don't really want to be churchy, but I'm not losing the grace that I have on my life.
Yeah. I would say the first thing to do is that it's time to expand.
Okay.
And one of the most important things that you can do is make sure that you're as accessible as possible. So that means wherever people might be, where they may look for your type of wisdom, your type of information, you want to be there. So that means going to high visibility places.
Okay.
Where can they see you? Where can they interact with you? So I am a big proponent of podcasts because podcast is the new frontier.
Okay.
Michelle Obama just created a podcast. We're talking about Bill Clinton is going to have a podcast pretty soon on another platform. And when you see how quickly this is expanding, that means that you want to be on the wave or ahead of the wave. You want to be ahead of the curve.
That's good.
So the first thing that I say, I talk a lot about podcasts because it's an easy way for you to download some audio and listen to it as you're on the go. So this is the principal thing, but this is also the principal thing live. So this is something that you're doing in the moment and it's live so everyone can see. But sometimes when you want to be able to catch up to something when you're not there. So that's the importance behind the podcast. But when you look at it, you're looking at it. Spotify is one media outlet. It is a streaming service, and it is one of the largest, most accessible streaming services worldwide, not just in America, but worldwide. While at the same time, Spotify only has 10% of the market share of podcasts. So what does that mean? That means who has the rest of it? Who has more of it? That's Apple. Apple has a cornerstone because they started this much earlier. So what you want to do is you don't want to limit yourself and say, I'm just going to go with Spotify. No, you want to go for Spotify and you want to go for Apple. And the idea is if people can find you on Spotify, on Apple, on Pandora, on Amazon, if they could find you on YouTube, if they could find you on Facebook, if they could find you on Instagram, if they could find you on Twitter, if they could find you on LinkedIn, that means that you have that many more times for someone to interact with your message. Regardless of if the message is spiritual in nature or not, the message is still going to be something that people are going to need to hear because wisdom is not something that's limited to the four walls with a cross in front of it.
Absolutely.
It's everything that you're doing outside. It's every day. And that's what you can embrace. Embrace the fact that you are not just a person. You are not just the apostle. You're not. You're so much more than that. So guess what? You can take that wisdom and take it everywhere you go and make sure you show it and spread it out and make it as available to as many people as possible, because that's how you improve your reach.
Wow. Mr. Span, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I just want to elaborate on the expansion that you're talking about. It feels like there's some construction that's going on between my ears right now. Because that vision, to me, what you just communicated is vision synergy. I mean, you really came in contact with the things that I really wanted to do, even though that this is a very fresh broadcast as far as the principal thing is concerned. You're helping me to take the vision that I have and implement it everywhere. And I believe that's part of the reach. That's part of the plan that God has for my life, being able to reach people right where they are. So now when you're talking about, don't get so accustomed to the platform you're on now, that you're engaging with now, be in such a way until you give everyone accessibility to what you have. Because whether people are spiritual or not, they still need wisdom. They need wisdom, whether it's a financial matter, whether it's a family matter, whether it's a personal matter. It could be a relationship matter. So we want to be in all of those places. So I'm so thankful that I took some of your time today, and I'm certainly taking the breadth of what you're communicating as far as being able to extend to people accessibility wherever they are. And when I say vision synergy, now that my mind is getting more outside of the walls or the confines of a church building, now my desire is to reach people where they are with different language.
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily have to be Jesus, the Father loves you, that kind of thing. But everything that I communicate and everything that I demonstrate, I want that to be the essence of what I'm trying to get across to people.
So and I may have said this before in the past, one of the things that hits me is that if you see my father, I look just like my father.
Hey,
you see that, you're going to be like, wow, he looks just like his father. No, I can't escape him. If we're in the same place, we look just alike. However, if you see me out on the streets and nobody knows who my father is, you still see my father.
Absolutely.
So in that, when you think about it, everybody, no matter if you say you are the son of the Holy Father, you still look like him. You still bring those things and those experiences. You bring all that with you. So the idea is that you don't need to tell somebody who you are. They should already know that by seeing you. And that's how you are. That's your language. You speak, and when you interact with people, it is who you are. So don't worry about, oh, where am I? How can I make it simple. You don't have to bring all the extra things, because there's baggage with language, because language has often been used to gatekeep. Language has been used to keep people out of certain spaces, and you don't want to do that. So with that, you say, okay, let me just deal with what needs to be dealt with. Let me be a parent. Let me be in that moment when I'm communicating with them, and people will receive it. Now, if somebody later on asks you about Jesus, you turn around and you tell them about Jesus. But until then, you know what you came to do. You came to give wisdom, and that's it. That's where you need to be.
Wow. Ms. Spann, thank you so much, because what that really does is it helps me to see that the transition from a ministry environment to the marketplace environment isn't as sharp or isn't as fierce as we once thought, that we can easily transition if we build a team, if we have people like yourself that have the expertise that we have. Then as leaders and those people that are sharing content, we must be open enough and transparent enough to be able to not necessarily transition from who we are, but transition the message from where it is to be able to meet people and where they are. Because you mentioned that in some of what you said, that Jesus met people where they were. And I believe that's so important, because as a leader in the body of Christ, I want them to see me as a person. And this is so good. I hope that this is so good for every leader or every person that's looking at business, or every person that has a message, that has content, and they want to go beyond the places where they are. Mr. Spann, I'm thanking you for your time today, because what you have done is you've helped to put not just a language to it, but you've helped to put that bridge to it, to where we can walk from where we are and stay true to the message with the integrity of who we are, and still be able to relay that message to people that are in the marketplace, regardless of where they are. Because I believe, I could be wrong, I believe that some of the people that we're going to be sharing this wisdom with and sharing love with, they may not even come to the house of God. They may not even come to church. But it may not mean that we can't reach them, that we can't help them. But we have to transition in how we think.
And what that looks like is what that often looks like is that you build a team from the things that you need. And as you work together, not everybody thinks the same.
No, that's true.
So that means that you have to get out of even the areas that you're in and meet new people, and understand that they may not think the same way as you, but your influence alone will help guide them in where they need to be. So I always think about accessibility, right? The quality of the content, and what is the messaging at the end of the day. Because we can talk about, you can put the best videos up on 1,000 platforms, but if nobody nobody knows what to look for. If they can't find it, you can't do anything about it. If you can have the best content on the most platforms, but then if you don't share it with at least one person, it wastes your time. You can't reach anybody. So the point is that at this point, you have good content. You have something that you want to hold on to. You have something that is powerful, but you can't keep it to yourself. So you have to scale it. You have to make it more available, and you have to continue to refine it and improve it. And eventually, if everybody has access to it, all it takes, it doesn't take 10,000 people for something to blow up. It only takes one. It takes one person. It takes one person, and that makes the difference. So you want to make sure that you do what you do it very well, but then also bring people in to be able to build and fill in the gaps. Because those gaps, whether it is marketing, whether that is production, anything, you can't do it on your own. So that is the wisdom. And I'll tell you before, and I'll tell anybody this, don't try to do it all by yourself, because it is not possible. It is not possible. It will hurt you. It will drain you, and you'll have nothing left to give. So the best advice I can give you is take your dream, refine it, keep improving on it, because it's never done. Keep improving on it, and then give it to others. Give it to others. Make sure it's accessible, make sure it's scalable, and the content, the quality content will be what changes. That will be the thing that changes and gets people connecting to you, because guess what? You make it, one right person will be able to change everything, because it takes one person to talk to somebody else, and then all of a sudden it goes viral on Twitter. That's how social media works. It takes one person with the reach, one person, for your video to go from 10 views to 10,000 views to 10 million views. They had just one person. So don't worry about, I need everybody to see it right now. Focus on making sure that you have those quality connections in this moment, and that will grow everything else.
Oh, Mr. Span, that right there, let me tell you, I'm smiling, and I'm about to call you Mr. Smiles, because this is great content. This is great content. I'm glad that you're sharing this. I'm glad that we had the opportunity to be able to have you on today. We're thankful for your expertise, just some of the things that you were able to communicate to us. I hope that there are other leaders out there. I hope that there are other people out there that are listening to this broadcast, that see our heart. It's being open, that we don't have everything figured out. We're being very transparent, and we're doing this in a way, in our transparency, to be a help, support mechanism to others, regardless of where you are in life, to help you to understand you can have it and you can put it together, but you still need a good team to be with you, to be able to promote, to be able to offer up suggestions for changes and everything. So I really appreciate that. We're going to try to get your email down here, because there could be some other people that may be trying to do some of the same things that I'm trying to do, and they need some help turning the corner. And hopefully with your expertise, hopefully you'll be able to reach them, and they'll be able to use you in some ways to get beyond what could be potential hurdles in their business and their reach towards others. So thank you so much, Mr. Span. Is there anything else? We are so appreciative of having your time this afternoon. Is there anything else you would like to share with us?
Well, I would like people to know that it's all connected to your dream and your vision. Anything that you want to achieve, that you have the will to achieve, you can. It's all about pulling the pieces together and keep working at it. Because if you give up, if you stop going, if you stop fighting, if you stop pushing, that's when things don't work anymore. That's when you lose the opportunity. So who am I? I'm someone who helps people by talking to them, helping them figure out what they really desire and the pathway to get there. You don't have to know everything when you start off, but as long as you know this is what you want to do, there is a pathway to get there. So I'm someone who believes just purely in hope. You can do it. You can hope. You can keep moving. As long as you keep taking those steps, you will get there.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Spann. You're the CEO of Sparkplug Solutions, and I
Yes.
definitely feel the fire. I feel that ignition. I feel that ignition in the things that you're communicating. We had some awesome comments today. Tanya Betts talking about, it just takes one person. We had Kendra coming across with some comments talking about a scalability and accountability, accessibility. So those things are really, really great. We're glad that it helped. I mean, we're getting comments now that Kendra, she says it really helped her. We're trying to present this content in such a way that it blesses everyone, that it's strong for everyone. I got a comment from Darren, this was really good. Well, this is really what the principal thing is all about. The principal thing is just that. It's the principal thing.
Yes.
And we're trying to share the wisdom of the Father to bless you wherever you are. And we're not rushing to get you in. We just want to reach you.
Yeah.
And at some point during the reach process, we believe that your life is going to change for the better. Thank you so much. We'd like to know, are there any questions very quickly before we get out of here? We're getting ready to close this broadcast out. We thank you for your time today. Yes. We ask you to share this broadcast. We ask you to hit the notification button, hit the like button, share it as much and as often as possible with your friends, with others, because this is some good stuff. Everyone needs that, because everyone has a dream. Everyone has a goal. Everyone has some type of a business plan that they're trying to get from where they are to where they really want to be. And you're going to need some help. You're going to need some connections along the way. And you're going to need someone in your corner that understands, that can decipher what you want to do and get it together, put it in some type of structural form for you to help you to get to the next place in life that God has for you. Everyone, thank you so much for being with us. This is the Principal Thing. This is your host, D. Gerard Lindsay of D. Gerard Lindsay Ministries. Thank you so much. God bless you. And thank all of you all that will be listening as a result of someone sharing this broadcast later on. Thank you so much for being with us today. It's the Principal Thing. It's where we...
Thanks for listening. Join host D. Gerard Lindsay again next week as we discover how to successfully navigate life with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and learn the principal thing, where wisdom meets purpose.